Hi everyone, Emily here from Emily Reads, and today I have a book haul for you. Couple of things. You can tell my voice is trash. I've been sick since the end of February, and I've made several trips to prom care, went to prom care Saturday, and I'm on a whole shload of medications. I'm on an antibiotic, I'm on a steroid, I'm on Flonase and Mucinex, and I've been taking echinacea tea. Actually, I just drank a cup of echinacea tea and honey. I'm taking Zyrtec. I take my regular asthma meds, and my voice is trash. And I've got the humidifier going at night in my bedroom, and before I drank the hot tea and honey, I even sat with like a towel over my head, over like a bowl of steaming water for like 15 minutes. And this is as good as my voice gets. I just started losing it Saturday. So I'm sorry, my voice is trash. But I needed to start filming some videos because I have a lot that needs to get done over spring break. I need to record my TBR for a key mark. I need to record my TBR for a Ramathon. I need to do my March wrap up. I need to do I want to do like a quarterly ghost check-in. I need to film a flip through of my always fully booked planner and how I've been using it so far. Plus, I have a book haul. Now, March was supposed to be a no-buy month. It was not a no-buy month. I bought. It was not good. Book of the month had a really good selection this month. So I bought 2 of their main picks. Like I did one as an add-on, and then I did get another add-on. Philip, yeah, I'm just going to go explain. So I have to show for you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 books that I bought and 2 books from the library. Okay, so the first book that I checked out from the library, it's beat up. You can see the corners ripped off. I didn't do it. It's from the library. This is Tamora Pierce, The Circle of Magic, Sandry's book. And this is the first in a quartet. I have never read these books. I grew up reading, well, I shouldn't say I grew up. I discovered Tamora Pierce in the early 2000s. And at that point, I was out of college. But excuse me. I have read Song of the Lioness, The Immortals, Protector of the Small. I don't know why I'm blanking on this stuff. I've read all those quartets multiple times, and I've read Trickster's Choice and Trickster's Queen before, but I've never read Circle of Magic. And Bethany from Beautifully Bookish Bethany, she is doing a read-along, and I don't know if it's with her Patreons or not. I can't remember. But she's doing the first Circle of Magic quartets. So I decided, well, since I've never, and she's doing once a month starting in April. And so I decided since I've never read them, I would hop on that bandwagon. And this is, so Sandry is brought to the Winding Circle community, and she's got a gift of weaving silk thread and creating light. And then she meets 3 other people who are kind of like misfits, and they're taught to use their magic and work to save the magical kingdom and herself. So I'm intrigued by that. I also checked out, I did end up buying this, but I'm going to return it because I then found this at my library. And I've read this before, a few years ago, but I'm part of a book club that meets online, and we did our pick for April is going to be The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez, because all of us were like, oh, we liked Place in Your World, or Part of Your World, and we know that the next book in that series is coming out in April, but we weren't sure if we were able to get our hands on it. So we decided we're going to read The Friend Zone, and this is about Kristen Peterson, and she is having to have a medical procedure, and when she has that medical procedure, she's not going to be able to have children after it. And so she is helping her best friend plan her wedding, and she meets the best man, and she and her dog, like, they like him, but the best man, Josh, wants to have a big family. And so it's hard to keep it. She wants to not get involved with him because of the fact that she's got this medical procedure that she's coming up on. So I remember reading it and I remember enjoying it. So I'm looking forward to this in April because I've got some heavy hitters for my readathons. So it's good to have something light. And the next book I bought at my local library, and I spent only like $3 on it. And this one is called The Book Spy by Alan Ladd. I hope I'm pronouncing that name right. Sorry, there's a sticker on there still, so I'm going to pull that off. And this is set in 1942, and it was different from some of those World War II books because this is set in Lisbon, which usually the stuff that are about World War II, I feel like it's set in either Germany or France. But this is set in Lisbon, Portugal, and they're apparently neutral. I did not know that. But President Roosevelt sends like a task force over there, and they're librarians and microfilm specialists, and they've been trained in espionage. So they are going to look through Axis books and materials to gather information about troop location, weaponry, and military plans. And then so Maria Alves, she's a microfilm expert, and she's dispatched to Lisbon. And then she's working with a bookshop owner who provides Jewish refugees with forged passports and visas. And then she is tasked with becoming, her superiors are ask her to pose as a double agent. So I don't know. I was intrigued because, like I said, it's set in Portuguese, which I haven't found too many World War II books set in Portugal. Or it's set in Portugal, not Portuguese. Sorry. I haven't found too many World War II books set in Portugal. And then also, I like the idea that it was centered around books and libraries. Excuse me. The next book I did pick up from Barnes & Nobles, and I got Emma. Now, I have this on Kindle, like I have the free public domain book, but I really want to like annotate it and tab it. And I used to own this, but I got rid of it years ago because my copy wasn't all that great. But I bought this because my book club, we're reading Emma in May, and in June we're reading a new book that's coming out, Emma on 83rd Street. The author of that book is going to be joining us for that book club discussion. And Emma on 83rd Street is a modern retelling of Emma. And so I said, hey, if we're going to do this Emma retelling, let's read Emma. And the people in the book club were on board with that, which was exciting. So I bought Emma to reread, annotate, and for that book club. Then I bought A Conjuring of Magic, which is the third book in a Darker Shades of Magic trilogy by V.E. Schwab. I'm not going to tell you what it's about because I have not read the first two books and I don't want to spoil. But the reason why I bought this is because they're releasing new covers. And I have the old covers, but I don't have this book. And so I wanted to get a matching set before it'd be harder to find these old covers. Then I bought Shadows of Self by Brandon Sanderson and Bands of Mourning by Brandon Sanderson. I'm trying to work my way through the Cosmere. I just finished Alloy of Law this past month, and so these are the next two books in Mistborn Era 2. I'm holding on getting The Lost Metal because I want to get the paperback in this edition, and I don't know if that's out yet because it's such a new publication. And honestly, like, I still have to read, I'm trying to do in publication order, so I still have to read, excuse me, I still have to read 3 Stormlight Archive books, plus these 2 books, plus books in Arcanum Unbounded. So, and then I purchased The Way of Adan by Philip Chase. This is the first book in a trilogy. And Philip Chase is a booktuber that I really enjoy watching his videos. He's one of the first booktubers that I discovered when I started watching BookTube. And so this just came out in March. So I'm excited to read it. It's, from what I understand in reading like the reviews and him talking about it, it's draws from Norse mythology, I want to say, and also has like a Tolkien-esque feel to it. So decided to read that. And then Book of the Month Club, I ended up getting The Adventures of Amina al-Sarafi by Shannon Chakraborty. I have not read The City of Brass or the David Bond trilogy, but it's in my plans to do that. But this book intrigued me because it's about an older woman, and you don't see that in fantasy. I mean, if you see women as protagonists, it's usually younger women. And this is an older one who's a mother, and she's kind of settled, she's retired, she's a pirate, and she's drawn back into that world. So and it's the first book in a trilogy. I've heard good things about it, so I'm excited to read that. And then I bought Wayward by Amelia Hart. This is a debut novel, and look how gorgeous that cover is. So this would also fit in with my BookTube Besties Virtual Retreat Made Me Do It kind of book haul, because someone at that retreat recommended Wayward, and I was intrigued by it. So when Book of the Month offered it, I had to grab it. But this covers 3 different timelines. So the first is in 2019, and Kate is leaving London to go to the Wayward Cottage, and she inherited it from a great aunt. And once there, she suspects that her great aunt had a secret that she needs to find. In 1619, one of our timelines, it said 1619, and Alpha is awaiting trial for the murder of a local farmer who was stampeded to death by his herd. And so Alpha was taught in magic, more like, and not like spells and things like that, but more like the wayward magic, which is like knowledge of the natural woman, or not, I can't speak, knowledge of the natural world, but because she has that knowledge, like that's considered dangerous. And then 1942 is our third timeline, and that's in World War II, and Violet is trapped in her family's Grand Crumbling estate. And she wants the education that her brother is able to get. And then but Violet has this locket with the initial W and the word wayward scratched into the baseboard of her bedroom. So all these women have mysteries that they need to solve and somehow are tied together. So looking forward to reading that. And then I bought What You Wish by Catherine Senner. I really enjoyed The Bodyguard, and when I saw that Book of the Month had some more of her backlisted books, I wanted to grab that. And this is about Samantha Casey, who's a school librarian, and Duncan Carpenter is a new school principal there, and they apparently worked together previously at another school, and she loved him, but she was kind of invisible to him. And so she went to this new school, got a new chance at life and a new job. And then he gets hired as this principal. And he's now like strict and so I guess they kind of clash over how the school is going to be run. And I don't know. It intrigued me. I usually don't try to read books set in schools for reasons, but because it's like, if it's like a book, if it's more contemporary, I try not to read books set in schools. This is also like a romance, so I thought this would be cute. All right, and then I bought The Inheritance and Other Stories by Robin Hobb and Megan Lindholm. So they're the same person. And there is a story that is tied to Realm of the Elderlings. So I was like, okay, I have to get that because I need the complete canon of Realm of the Elderlings. But I wasn't, the reason why I bought this is someone in a Discord that I'm in announced that University Bookstore in Seattle was going to have Robin Hobb come down and do a book signing of this book and then sell them. So my book is signed by Megan Lindholm and Robin Hobb. So I had to buy it. Like, when you see that and it's a book that you don't have and it's going to be signed by an author, you buy. And then I went to Half Price Books. I was near there. I went to the suburbs for a wine tasting that I was hosting and went to Half Price Books, and I found Nettle and Bone, which I don't own, but I do need to have this because I want to do a follow-up on my rating books on their first line. And then I also found Rune of Kings by Jen Lyons. I've heard really good things about this series. And so I needed to snag that because, again, it's hardback and it's in really good condition. So that is my book haul. Thanks for bearing with me with my voice. And I'm going to stop filming this so I can rest a little bit more of those books. I know which ones are priorities for me, but what do you think should be a priority for me? And what is on your plan to read next? And as always, please like and subscribe. Bye.